Hi, this is Team Jarvis, and we are excited to show you our project. A smart AI note taker, which enhances your note taking experience with features like knowledge gap filling, AI suggestions, and other easy to use AI tools, making the note taking process not only simple but more efficient.
Prati, and I will be giving you a project overview of Jarvis. Our target users are students. Many of us want to take better notes, but using AI tools mid-lecture or while studying can be inconvenient and allow for distractions. As a student, I want to clean up and improve my notes using AI without learning prompt engineering or complex tools so I can focus on learning. This is where we come in. We provide a simple, integrated AI assistant directly within our note taking app. This assistant automatically improves and restructures notes, offering clarity, coherence, and enhanced organization without needing the user to learn how to prompt an AI model or go to another place for help. The focus remains entirely on learning and not mastering a new tool. Buttons are still provided if the user wants a specific task done. Let me show you a few features of Jarvis. First, we have Fix Up Notes. It highlights unclear or sparse sections and suggests improvements. We have a knowledge gap filler, which enhances weak points in your notes using LLM and your notes context. Translation converts selected text into your chosen language using AI, with better context preservation than Google Translate, in fact. We have OCR Upload, which extracts text from handwritten notes and pastes them into your editor. You can summarize and expand your notes. We have an AI panel, which where you can quickly ask questions while studying without switching tabs. We have speech to text, where using your microphone, Jarvis can listen into the lecture and transcribe, take notes for you.
Now that you've seen what our app entails, let's actually look at how a real user, a student, would use the app, you know, out there in the real world. So let's assume we're logging in. In this case, it'll be me, and type in the password, assuming you already have created an account. Perfect. So now we're kind of in the app, we logged in, we're ready to use it. As a student, for example, you could either record a lecture which is ongoing or upload a picture of your notes which you have taken maybe from the last lecture, maybe in the current lecture, and you just want to continue in our app. So let's, in this case, upload and use the inbuilt OCR feature to transfer my notes from paper to the editor. Let's click upload, choose my picture of my notes right here, open. So we upload the notes, put it in the app, and let the AI handle the transcription. Now that the OCR has transcribed our handwritten notes into actual text, we can continue our note-taking process. As a little side step, let's look at the actual handwritten notes I had. Right here. So, as we can see, they're very close to what the AI has transcribed. Now, let's continue. Now that we have transcribed our previous notes, let's start taking new notes. Our little inbuilt text editor is pretty handy and dandy for it. So we can do some bullet points, we can make it bold, italize it, whatever we want. So let's assume our topic now will be NLP. But while taking notes, you got distracted, haven't heard everything what the professor said, and need to clarify it. But instead of going to ChatGPT, instead of going to any other source, you can just ask the question right here. So NLP, give me a quick rundown of what it is. We simply ask the inbuilt question box, the question we want an answer to, and wait for the response, which we can then easily paste into our notes. Let's ask it. Right here, we see it kind of pulsate, showing that the AI is thinking. Now that we have our response, let's look at it and take the parts we like. We click on the suggestion box, and here is what the AI has given us. Key goals, applications, techniques, perfect stuff. Let's get this into our notes. The parts I like, that is. Copy it over, and easily paste it right here. So, boom. Awesome. With this, you can continue taking your notes, and after you're done, you might say, well, what more could I need? And there is, in fact, more. For example, finished your note-taking process, you took little notes for your lectures, and you want a little rundown of what the lecture was about. Summary, so to say, right? Instead of, again, having to copy over the notes, go to some ChatGPT, all you have to do, click on our AI button and say, I want a summary. I want a little summary. Perfect. We click the button, AI is thinking, we wait for the response, and then paste it down right here. So let's wait for the response real quick, and then continue. The summary is done. Let's look at it. Again, pretty large, pretty extensive summary, but in my case, I don't like this part. Let's copy this over into our notes. And boom, our summary is done. At this point, you could be thinking to yourself, I think my notes are done. There's nothing more, but there's still more little features you can use and access in our app. Let's go to AI. And out here, there's one more feature which I would say is very interesting, is Fix Up Notes. It allows you to get a little look over all your notes and let the AI pick parts it believes are not really up to standard. Let's ask the AI to look over our notes. Perfect. We clicked at it, and now we're waiting for a response. The responses are ready. Let's, for example, accept 2 of them and deny 1. As we see, there's little boxes. We can accept or deny it. Accept 2. And deny this one. Leaves it as it is. Changes the ones we accepted. Perfect.
Talking about the Jarvis tech stack and architecture that we have developed and designed over the past 8 months for our capstone project of the spring of 2025. You can stop the video here and look through the non-exhaustive list of technologies and libraries that we have used throughout the entire project. But I'm going to go into detail about what each of those technologies does and how it interacts with the end user in the back end. The end user will interact through a proxy server hosted on our VM. That VM interacts with our Swagger API, and that goes through our server code, which then distributes data based on the type of API request made to the API. That server is also running a backend Python script that is hosting a Llama 3.1 model locally. So that API has 3 endpoints: login, sign up, and prompt and response for the AI data. And we have committed over 200 to 300 times throughout the entirety of this project. We want to thank you all for sticking with us, and we hope you have a great day.
Throughout the capstone, we discovered that how we work together mattered just as much as what we built. Early on, we put time into setting a clear project structure, defining roles, deadlines, and standards for code reviews, which prevented small uncertainties from ballooning into delays later. That discipline let us parallelize development, maintain momentum, and preserve morale when individual pieces hit snags. Collectively, those practices turned a potentially chaotic group effort into a smooth collaborative experience, and our habits will carry into future projects. When we began sketching the user experience, we set an aggressive goal, a tool that first-time visitors could learn in minutes without a tutorial. Achieving that meant iterating relentlessly on interface details, iconography, error messaging, default settings, until every action felt obvious. Those wins remind us that a clear shared vision coupled with a steady incremental progress can transform "wouldn't it be cool if" ideas into working software. None of this would have been possible without a steady guidance from our instructors, whose feedback nudged us toward cleaner architecture and more rigorous testing, and the School of Computing that provided both the infrastructure and culture that encourage ambitious student projects. We really hope to take this experience with us and pay it forward. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.